Hello and welcome everyone on this official platform of Legacy IAS Academy. As you can see here, the headlines: Zoland, a secret Christian nation, hidden war in the northeast. Ji haan. So today we are going to analyze about the Kuki-Zo land. Ji haan. What if I told you a secret nation is being carved out silently along India's eastern border or frontier? A Christian ethno-state, armed, trained, and connected to a global network of military veterans, drug economies, as well as encrypted satellite comms, and also even the Western powers. So this is not a fiction. This is Zoland, a name you have shake or a name you have probably never heard, but one that could soon shake the geopolitical foundation, very foundations of South Asia. While the world debates about Gaza, world debates about Ukraine, a quiet storm is rising in the forgotten hills of Manipur as well as Myanmar. So ethnic militias, they are training in jungle camps. Populations are polarizing along the religious lines. Starlink satellites, they are blinking overhead, and somewhere between the CIA, intelligence agency of US, Chin rebels, Myanmar, Kuki nationalism, and collapsed democracies, a new map is being drawn. But is this really about ethnic identity, or is it a deeper global game to encircle Asia's last giant, that is India and China, with the fire from within? So in this video, we unravel the shadowy web of arms, ideologies, and ambitions. So from the tribal lands of northeast India to the war-torn hills of Myanmar, from the secret poppy fields to the corridors of power in Washington and Dhaka, this is the hidden war you have never meant to see. तो इशू क्या है? Zoland, a new Christian nation taking shape at India's border. आइए समझते हैं. New land, new nation which is taking shape at India's border. As you can see these images, Arunachal Pradesh, then you can see here Assam, then this is Manipur area, and then आप यहाँ पर एक मैप देख सकते हैं, Kukiland. Okay. Kuki-Zoland, a new Kuki Christian nation which is supported by United States of America, and it appears to be close to the reality unless India takes stern actions immediately. Now, let me tell you, as you can see this video, so as you can see this video on your screen, the 2 years of violence which fueled in Manipur was to create a social divide and also to provoke Kukis to collaborate with Chins to strengthen own Kuki-Zo army. As you can see, a Kuki-Zo army, and the ties with Myanmar rebel groups. So maps are ready, uniforms are supplied from Bangladesh, and Starlink provided for satellite as well as internet communication for the handlers. Okay. Now, और क्या क्या एविडेंस देखने को मिले हैं? सबसे बड़ा एविडेंस पीडीएफ ट्रेनिंग कैंप्स. जी हां. Now, so another important thing here is PDF training camps. Okay. Now, अब इसी के अलावा हमें और क्या क्या चीजें देखने को मिली हैं? So the first important thing here is PDF training camps. Now how? अब ऐसे बहुत सारे एविडेंसेस मिले किस चीज के? That Kuki in India and the Chin in Myanmar region, particularly in Chin state as well as Sagaing region. They are ethnically related. अब ये regions ethnically related कैसे हैं? So let's try to understand about their ethnicity. Now let's try to understand about their ethnicity, how they are ethnically related. They often identify as the part of broader Zo community. ये अपने आप को Zo community का मानते हैं. And they have a dream of creating a separate state. It is a conspiracy. अब ये इनका ड्रीम बना कैसे सेपरेट स्टेट बनाने का? This is a conspiracy which was crafted by the British in 1947. तो ऐसी बहुत सारी वीडियोस हमें देखने को मिली हैं न्यूज चैनल्स पर, जैसा कि आप देख सकते हैं इस वीडियो को भी, एज यू कैन सी हियर. सो देयर आर वेरियस वीडियोस व्हिच हैव एमर्ज्ड दैट पीडीएफ है ना, दैट इज पीपल्स डिफेंस फोर्सेस इन म्यांमार रीजन. सो पीडीएफ एंड जो, so they are training the militia for armed struggle to get Zoland. नाउ इसी के साथ ही साथ और कौन कौन से ग्रुप हैं आप देख सकते हैं, पीडीएफ, जोलैंड, है ना. इसी के साथ ही साथ और कौन कौन से ग्रुप हैं जो इसका पार्ट है, इंडिया से जुड़े हुए हैं. द फर्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट ग्रुप इज KNA, कुकी नेशनल आर्मी, एन इंसर्जेंट ग्रुप. सो लेट मी टेल यू दैट KNA, now KNA, that is Kuki National Army, which is an insurgent group. They are seeking a separate Kuki homeland and it has been reported to collaborate with the People's Defense Forces in Myanmar. Now इसी के साथ ही साथ large stock of weapons, as you can see here, large stock of weapons have arrived in Kuki National Army as well as PDF camps which are being stocked, and these are not limited to the small arms only. There are various arms and ammunitions. Now अब इस पे अक्यूज किसको किया जा रहा है? Kuki-Zo groups. They have been accused of involvement in the drug trade also, है ना. These groups are involved in the drug trade, particularly poppy cultivation, which allegedly funds the insurgent activities. जी हाँ, poppy cultivation से ही insurgents को पैसा मिलता है ना, फंड मिलता है. Now there is an evidence of a Kuki girl and she was telling the benefits of poppy cultivation, and if Zoland comes into existence, it can alone be funded by the drug economy through poppy cultivation in 7 sisters, that is 7 northeastern states. Now veterans of US, British Army, they are already training Kukis in People Defense Forces, that is PDF camps, since a few years. Now weapon stocks are there at Manipur border. जी हाँ, weapon stocks के evidences पाए गए हैं at Manipur border. Not only small arms but also artillery guns. Its ammunition has also been stocked in militant camps which are bordering to the Manipur as well as Nagaland in these areas, है ना. पूरी तरीके से वेस्टर्न पावर का यहां पर हाथ है. Now लार्ज स्टॉकिंग इंडिकेट्स एन ऑन गोइंग बिग मिलिट्री लेवल प्लानिंग, की एक कुछ बड़े लेवल की प्लानिंग चल रही है यहां पर. नाउ व्हाट आर द बेनिफिट्स ऑफ क्रिएटिंग रखाइन कॉरिडोर इन बांग्लादेश? अभी कुछ समय पहले यूएन के जनरल आए थे, सिक्योरिटी जनरल आए थे, और उन्होंने एक प्रपोजल रखा बांग्लादेश के सामने टू क्रिएट अ रखाइन कॉरिडोर, ह्यूमैनिटेरियन एड. हिडन एजेंडा क्या था इस पर यूएस का? व्हाट आर द बेनिफिट्स ऑफ क्रिएटिंग द रखाइन कॉरिडोर इन बांग्लादेश? इट सॉल्व्स 2 पर्पसेस ऑफ यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका. फर्स्ट, सप्लाइंग आर्म्स, रिमेंबर दिस थिंग, फ्रॉम हियर बांग्लादेश रीजन एंड हियर रखाइन कॉरिडोर. अब यहां से क्या करेंगे? दे आर गोइंग टू सप्लाई आर्म्स टू द अराकन आर्मी फ्रॉम हियर. अब यहां से यूएस अराकन आर्मी को हथियार सप्लाई करेगा टू वीकन द मिलिट्री हुंता ऑफ म्यांमार एज वेल एज चाइनीज इन्फ्लुएंस इन म्यांमार. नाउ टेक्निकली यूएस ट्राइंग टू क्रिएट अ बेस इन बे ऑफ बंगाल रीजन इन म्यांमार. यूएस यहां पर अपना बेस बनाना चाह रहा है बे ऑफ बंगाल रीजन में, विच इज क्लोज टू अंडमान ऑल्सो. which is close to Andaman. Got it? Now here second purpose क्या होगा? अब यहां पर second purpose क्या होगा? So here it gives a base to mobilize the security forces also. दूसरा land port. Now अब यहां पर आप देखिए यूएस यहां पर बनाना चाह रहा है which is near to Manipur. Now it gives a base to mobilize the Kuki forces and to create a Zoland. यूएस क्या बनवाना चाहता है? जोलैंड बनवाना चाहता है, टू क्रिएट अ जोलैंड, टेक्निकली अ पोपी फंडेड प्रोजेक्ट टू गेट अ लैंड बेस which is adjacent to the India's northeast area. यही मेन रीजन है यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका का. दैट इज व्हाई शेख हसीना गवर्नमेंट which was a pro India government in Bangladesh, so that is why Sheikh Hasina government was toppled to destabilize Bangladesh and created a supply base to achieve sea as well as land port. अब यूएस इसके थ्रू क्या करना चाहता है? यूएस ने इसीलिए शेख हसीना की गवर्नमेंट को हटवाया एंड created a supply base to achieve the sea as well as land port in the north as well as west of Myanmar region. Okay. So Sheikh Hasina, she was possibly wrong that US wants a military base in Saint Martin. वो नहीं सही था. Hidden reason अब पता चल रहा है कि यूएस को सेंट मार्टिन नहीं चाहिए था. यूएस क्या चाहता है? एक बेस चाहता है, लैंड पोर्ट और सी पोर्ट, सी बेस चाहता है म्यांमार में. सो दैट अब यूएस के यहाँ पे दो पर्पस है. पहला पर्पस लैंड पोर्ट के थ्रू इंडिया के नॉर्थ ईस्ट में जोलैंड बनवाएगा, वहां पे पोपी लैंड, ड्रग ट्रेड, जिससे खूब पैसा आएगा और इंसर्जेंट ग्रुप्स को वहां पर फंड किया जाएगा. दूसरा जो सी पोर्ट है उसके थ्रू यूएस क्या करना चाहता है? मिलिट्री गवर्नमेंट को हटाना चाहता है म्यांमार की एंड चाइनीज इन्फ्लुएंस को कमजोर करना चाहता है. क्लियर? सो Sheikh Hasina was possibly wrong that US wants a military base in Saint Martin. It was likely about two bases in Myanmar, one in the Bay of Bengal and another at the Manipur border. Now, in all these things, Chittagong, which is a part of Bangladesh, Chittagong is now used to supply uniforms to the Kukis. And weapons are also likely sent फ्रॉम दी सेम एरिया. वहीं से वेपन्स भी भेजे जाएंगे ह्यूमैनिटेरियन एड के नाम पे. अब इन सभी चीजों में आईएसआई का रोल क्या है? पाकिस्तान की जो इंटेलिजेंस एजेंसी है आईएसआई. व्हाट इज द रोल ऑफ आईएसआई? आईएसआई हैज बीन एक्टिवेटेड फॉर द इंटेंस सोशल मीडिया, ओके, टू प्रोपगेट मोर वायलेंस इन मणिपुर. सो आप देख सकते हैं तो आईएसआई ने क्या किया? they activated for intense social media to propagate more violence in Manipur so as to increase the recruitment of brainwashed youth into the Kuki army. समझ में आ रहा है? ताकि और ज्यादा से ज्यादा रिक्रूट किया जाए. अब इन सभी चीजों का इंपैक्ट क्या हो सकता है? What can be the possible impact of this narrative? First impact could be communal polarization. Now, communal polarization. Now, how communal polarization? Now, framing the Kuki-Zo struggle as a Christian conspiracy which is supported by the Western powers, it may deepen religious fault lines in the region, especially against the tribal Christian population in Manipur, Mizoram, as well as Nagaland. And it also risks justifying the state crackdown on tribal areas by painting them as a foreign proxies. Then second impact could be security driven policies. जी हाँ, security driven policies. Now, how security driven policies? It could lead to the increased militarization of the region. That means more surveillance, more raids, arrest under the UAPA, AFSPA, and this often hitting the innocent tribal civilians also. Then the Indian government may use this narrative to justify the severe internal security measures, risking further alienation. Then another important impact could be foreign policy ramification. Foreign policy ramifications. How? So, suggesting US involvement in creating a breakaway state could worsen India-US relations, especially if the narrative spreads through the national media or is picked up by the political parties. And it may also prompt that India to re-evaluate its Myanmar as well as Bangladesh policies, particularly with a focus countering perceived Western influence, as you can see here. Then destabilization of Northeast. Now, destabilization of Northeast. How? By linking the local tribal grievances like autonomy or representation to an external conspiracy, it delegitimizes authentic tribal aspirations, potentially pushing more, or you can say more moderate actors into the radical camps. Now, this may escalate the Kuki-Miti conflict and also polarize other communities like Nagas or Mizos, depending on their alignment. Then another important thing will be it may create the anti-Christian as well as anti-Western sentiment. How? So let me tell you, as you can see here, the portrayal of the Christian Zoland with the US funding, it could incite broader anti-Christian narratives in the Hindu nationalist discourse. And it could also be weaponized to promote the anti-NGO, anti-evangelical as well as anti-Western rhetoric across India. Now, what can be the strategic interpretation? Now, what can be the strategic interpretation? So, let me tell you. See, the piece reads like hybrid warfare propaganda, which combines the ethnic strife, drug economy, and also the international geopolitics as well as religion to steer fear. Now, whether true or exaggerated, if this is used uncritically by the policymakers or media, it risks turning a complex socio-political conflict into a simplified national security crisis, where genuine demands for the justice, representation, and peace are ignored. Now, what can be the recommendations then? अब एक चीज याद रखो, recommendations क्या हो सकता है? Now, for analysts or policymakers, use caution, है ना? Verify claims via intelligence as well as ground reports before acting. Okay. Now, second, avoid narratives. See, avoid narratives that club all the tribal or Christian groups as enemies, है ना? क्योंकि ये बहुत sensitive issue है. For media, avoid amplification unless claims are backed by strong evidence. So sensationalizing it could incite the violence. And for civil society, push for dialogues, tribal rights, as well as exposed both state as well as non-state abuses. Then prevent the radicalization of youth by offering democratic alternatives. है ना? By offering the democratic alternatives. So, अब इन केस में क्या हो सकता है इन सभी केस में? So let me tell you, for security agencies, focus on facts and avoid collective punishment. है ना? Monitor for real threats, but don't brand entire communities as hostile. है ना? उससे पूरी कम्युनिटी को हमें बदनाम नहीं करना है. So Zoland may or may not become a reality, but what is undeniable is the storm that is already here, which is tearing apart communities, turning neighbors into enemies, and weaponizing identities that once coexisted peacefully. So what is unfolding in Northeast India is not just a local conflict. It is a test case of how ethnic grievances, global politics, religion, as well as digital propaganda, it can be fused to fracture nations from within. And here the haunting truth: when borders are redrawn in blood, the ink is rarely visible until it is too late. So before we pick these sides, before we blame or believe, we must ask deeper questions. Who benefits from this chaos? Who funds the silence? And why has the world ignored this for so long? So if you found this eye-opening, then share it with someone who thinks that the Northeast is not, or Northeast is just another forgotten region. So let's bring global light to a conflict region, conflict which is hidden in the shadows, because peace, like war, begins in the minds of the people. And it is the time we started thinking. So subscribe Legacy IAS Academy for more untold truths. Drop your thoughts in the comment section and tell us, is Zoland the next flashpoint of global power play, or it is just a myth in the making? Thank you so much.